What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, we're going to talk about what Bitcoin is going to do when it finally breaks out of the range that it's been trading in now for a month and a half. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to be doing using the volume profile tool as an analysis and using a parallel channel. These are tools that many other YouTubers are not using, but I've been studying up a lot on, and I find a lot of value in them. Helps me as a trader, and hopefully it'll help you as an investor. We'll also take a look at a post from Willy Woo on here, and the stock to flow model will give you an important update on that. But before we get into it, I just want to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so and you're serious about including cryptocurrency in your overall wealth building strategy. So let's get into it here. And here is the Bitcoin chart dating back to really November of 2020. But really, I just wanted to show you really what's been happening this entire year. So of course, we had our run up here. We got completely overextended. Then we had this sell-off led by Elon Musk, led by the China mining crackdown, which I think was a very bad move for China now because you can't stop Bitcoin. It's just going to move somewhere else. And that's what we're starting to see if you've been looking at the news. But that scared a lot of people off. And before I even talk about this, I'll show you this tweet from Willy Woo. As a matter of fact, I'll retweet it here. And basically what he's talking about Rick Astley, you know, that pop song. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, right? Those are the people who are the long-term holders versus the weekend speculators. Mr. Astley, the buyer of last resort, is mopping up the coin. So right here, this green line represents people who have been holding Bitcoin long-term. So people like me, like I can tell you, I have been slowly accumulating during this dip, right? Was I accumulating when it was running up crazy? No, I wasn't interested in that. I was way in profits. And I'm speaking about me, but hopefully I'm speaking about you too, or really anyone who's been in cryptocurrency for a few years. Now, people who just got in this year got scared off. They sold off. But this is good. This is long-term hodlers and crypto whales accumulating right now. We're going to talk more about accumulation, but I just retweeted if you want to take a closer look. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I am at CRAnthony3. I would love to connect on there. But let's take a look at this chart again. So here is the box range, or what could also be referred to as a parallel channel. And you can see I've got my dotted lines showing you the extremities. So the top range, about $40,600, $40,700. You can see it there. And the bottom range, $31,658. So we have been moving steadily in between there for a month and a half, as I mentioned. So what will happen when we finally break out of here? Using the box range targets, basically what you do is you take the height from the highest peak to the lowest valley of the range, and that's your breakout measured move. So if we break out past, let's say $40,679, Bitcoin can come as high as almost $50,000. But we've got some important levels of resistance up above that I think would come into play. So the first one would be this downtrending line that I drew a very long time ago, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that this will come back into play here. That would bring our best case move down to about 47,000. And more importantly, I think we're going to find resistance right around the $45,000 mark. And this is where I want to talk to you about volume profile as well. Now, but before I get into the volume profile, let me just tell you what could happen on the downside. Right now, the downside, of course, using the same measured move roughly, would take us down to about $24,000. So you see a lot of people speculate online that we might be coming down as low as $20,000. I think that's highly unlikely. We have found great support so far right around the $30,000 level, as you can see. And as I showed you before, those long-term holders are scooping coins up at around that level. So I don't think it's going to drop to 20, but I do think a wick down to as low as $24,000 is very possible. And of course, in trading, you know, in the markets, anything is literally possible. But the measured move would take us down to 24,000. And this is a level I've mentioned on this channel before because we do have historical resistance back on December 2020 at that same level. And that's the next real significant level. So if we break this, it would make sense that we're going to move through. So let me explain this now in terms of the volume profile, because this is really what I want to show you here. So I'll draw a line here, and then I'll draw another line here as well. And so what I want to show you, if you're not familiar with the volume profile, is basically this shows us how much trading volume, how much money was traded at any particular price level. So you can see right in the middle of this range, this box range here, or not in the middle, but certainly inside of the channel, we are seeing the greatest trading volume. And so this is an accumulation period. It's an accumulation period for long-term holders, for crypto whales, potentially for institutions. And one other thing I want to mention in this video, people talk about institutions a lot, and they say, well, if institutions are buying, why isn't the price moving? Well, it's because institutions want the price to stay low long enough for them to deploy all their capital. So if institutions bought on spot and they bought with millions and millions of dollars, they're going to shift the whole market and they're not going to be able to get the price they want. So institutions buy very slowly. So that's why it's so exciting to see these periods of accumulation that for us as retail traders are really boring. Like they're just like, all right, do something, right? You want to poke it with a stick, right? But this shows us that there's a lot of activity happening here. All right, and just the fact that this trails off, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, this volume really trails off. Once this volume really thins out, Bitcoin is going to be able to move really fast if it breaks up or if it breaks down beyond these key levels, which I have drawn here. What are the key levels? Let's say 41,000 for our purposes. You want to see a daily close above 41,000 or $31,658. You want to see a daily close below that level, not just a wick down like this that happens very quickly, but a daily close. Now, this is the model brought to us by analyst Plan B. This model is generally used or applied to natural resources like gold or silver, and commodities are often referred to as store of value resources that should retain their value over long term due to their scarcity and low flow. Bitcoin being another asset that fits into this category. But if you look here, you will see that the model is suggesting that Bitcoin should be around the price of $77,000. But as of Monday, which was yesterday at the time of recording, Bitcoin was trading at $33,668. So we are well off. This is the largest divergence from the stock to flow model since January 2019. Now, this model would naturally suggest that Bitcoin is trading lower than where its true value is. And you can see this has been incredibly accurate historically. Again, if you're on Twitter, you need to follow Plan B. This is the guy who puts out this model. He tweets regular updates about it. It's a really interesting one to follow. You can see how closely we've been really mirroring it, dating all the way back to the beginning of Bitcoin's history. It's been really fascinating to watch. But this would suggest that Bitcoin is oversold right now and that the price is too low. So some food for thought. We'll see what happens this month, but those are the key levels. Let me know in the comment section, when do you think Bitcoin will break out of this box range we're talking about? You think it'll happen in July? Also, don't forget to like this video. It helps us rank, and there's a lot of competition for good Bitcoin content out there. So I do appreciate that. Also, thank you for watching and enjoy the ride. Later.